Oh, the warehouse. Swing.
What is this place?
It looks depressing. How is this related to Iris?
Unknown.
I don't know. It looks familiar. Yep, this is familiar.
Iris, what are you hiding?
This is exactly the warehouse that we saw a couple episodes ago.
Somnium scan. Activate.
Mental Lock 1, the TV. Mental Lock 2, the windows. Mental Lock 3, the floor. And Mental Lock 4, me. Discover Iris' secret, a mysterious room, videos, and a strange device. You may be able to find the truth. Ah! Okay. After I pause for a minute. So it looks like we're back with another Somnium this time. Cool. Let's go up to the TV.
A CRT TV.
Oh no. I'm not doing either of those yet. No, we have to. It's the only thing here.
A CRT TV.
This is scary because there's two different routes on this already. Let's spin the dial. God, I hate it when they do this. Like, wish they would have split it earlier. Oh. Oh, that's one of the original Cyclops killer victims. So she saw. She would have been like 10.
What is this video?
It is difficult to believe, but these are the faces of the victims of the
Yeah.
original Cyclops killer.
She would have been like 10 back then.
What is going on here? Iris, what are you hiding?
We should continue. There are more objects to inspect now.
So we are locked onto another path now. Let's see which one. I decided to go the more peaceful route. That's terrifying though. Saw the murder video. What was the other video? Probably more related. Mirror. Oh god. Let's try to find something that doesn't
A torso
take
with
so
a
much time.
head.
If it has a head,
What would you call it?
Oh god, everything takes so much time off of me. They did this on purpose. A gun.
A revolver.
is it real?
It appears that way.
Jumping's probably more worth
Weekly
it.
Shonen.
Oh my god.
Don't say it.
Jump.
I did the best I could. I am not a cyborg, and thus I cannot reach that height.
Nobody's blaming you.
Okay, but now I got rid of the ×2. Yes, I know. I know what this game does usually. Let's talk because they like to use the long ones.
Can you talk?
What? Don't copy me.
What? Don't copy me.
Pervert. Date is a pervert.
Pervert. Date is a pervert.
Why do I have to get called a pervert?
Really?
Twice.
A full a torso.
Oh god. Let me guess, it's gonna be this one, since we did just see someone get choked out. It's a scary look, Iva. Was I right? Please tell me I'm right. I want to get past this lock.
Even my consciousness
I believe so.
is being affected.
While I was unconscious, the room changed.
So that was mental lock
Tired
too.
of this. We have no choice but to investigate.
Yep. Strangled the body. Are they walking us through the murder? Medicine bottle.
A drug bottle that holds some kind of liquid.
I don't want to chug that.
An operating table.
Performs surgery.
Who do you intend I
Can you just pretend?
pretend?
Did I pick the right one? Please tell me I did. This song is scaring me.
Nothing's happening.
Damn. I thought it might trigger a.
Perhaps you should abandon that line.
Okay, well now we're stuck with the ×2.
4 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
It's an operating table.
There was an investigate one, but that'll give me another ×2, so that's a failure. And everything else there would take so much
A
time.
drug bottle that
Okay, so let's investigate this one to get rid of that.
there is no label.
It's probably.
I agree. We should not even in Somnium.
Okay, well, ×2 is gone now. What does
3
this
minutes,
TV hold?
An
Ah,
old
4 to 3 went
television.
fast. Let's turn the dial. Just for the 1/6. Oh? We should have done this one first.
That
should have looked at
video
that
showed
first.
The face of a victim of the. It appeared to be the second victim.
What is going on? Iris has something to do with the first Cyclops case?
It would
Unknown.
seem so.
I do not have enough information.
Guess that means we have to investigate more.
Indeed. The oil
Oh, that
jug,
was it.
shelf, and another torso have been added.
Let's go.
There's a lot of mental locks on this one. Oh, we're not even there yet. But we watched her get beat with a
Drug
bottle.
bottle that-
I don't want to grab that. There to the gas canister. We watched this thing
a
get
torso
beaten.
similar.
That's what they're gonna want me to do, is to beat this thing. Probably. Gas
Common
canister.
gas.
What does the shelf do?
Only a.
Let's try punching this.
A tor-
Because that's what we just saw that do, was something similar to that. Oh, it's changed again. Was that again?
I didn't get hit, did I?
There is no effect on your body, Date.
Hit my soul hard enough.
While you were unconscious, a television and an old.
I want to get off this ride.
If my calculations
crazy.
are correct, it will be over soon.
Let's hope you're right.
It has to be. There's one mental lock left. So we're gonna go over to that TV because it's the one thing that shows us what to do.
You have less than
An
2
old
minutes,
fa-
Date. Hurry.
Turn the dial again because that's what we've been doing this whole time, and it helped. It's helped the first 2 times. Oh God.
Please. Help me. Help me.
Ouchies. That looked painful. This is a stressing one.
This was the third victim of the original Cyclops killer.
Why does Iris know that?
There is a possibility that she saw it online or on TV.
She even reproduced the circumstances of the killing.
Not really. She wouldn't
Date,
have been
we
able
have
to
no
get that
direct
much.
evidence. For now, we must continue investigating.
Right.
They showed us this locker over here. Oh god, the gun's up. The gun, right? We're gonna
Just
need
a
that.
locker.
Open it. Did that
Iba?
do anything?
It's all right.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's gonna hit the pipe, and then... Oh, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine. That's what those are called, right? This is gonna knock down the gun for us. Hopefully. Whee! Interesting that they used different textured balls for these. Oh, we're gonna have to throw this at the gun. Is my bet. Oh, or not. Oh yeah, no, I was wrong. Jesus, this is so complicated. How could the hook hit that and then this not hit the hook? Oh, was it this? No, I don't know. That doesn't make so much sense to me. It's a dream. It doesn't matter much. Oh, God. Glad I didn't chug that. Jesus. That was way more complicated than I expected it to be. Oh, now it's very, very brutal. The fourth victim. What? No. That can't be. Vane. Disassociated persona. Achievement unlocked. I'm sorry, but what? Pardon me? You're gonna play me like that? I'm not the Cyclops killer, am I?
What happened in that Somnium?
We saw it too.
The 4 murdered women are without a doubt the victims of the original Cyclops serial killings.
That means...
The murders that occurred 6 years ago are these memory fragments that coalesced in this Somnium.
No. That means the person who killed them was...
Me. I've been wearing the same clothes for 6 years. What? I was not expecting that.
Didn't I tell you? The entire case is a state secret, no matter how many times you ask.
Blue
Help
figure
me
from the
understand
sink.
this. What I saw during the sink earlier, that was the scene of the...
Yeah,
So the person doing the killing was the original Cyclops killer.
right.
So that was
Did
me.
you see him? He was...
I saw your face. The original Cyclops killer was...
It can't be. That's impossible.
Date, you cannot say that for certain. You have no memories past 6 years ago.
What the heck happened?
So perhaps, Mr. Date, you are the killer.
But I
You're
couldn't have.
missing your left eye, so you steal them from others.
I'm
Did I
kidding.
pick the wrong path?
You can't be the Cyclops killer.
Really?
Of course not. Do you think I would hire a serial killer? You interrogated Iris before the sync. What you saw in the
Yeah, that's
Somnium
true.
was just a manifestation of the fear you put in her.
Okay, but she did see the murders.
You can't dream of something you know nothing about.
That means Iris must know about the killings.
6 years ago, Iris was 12.
Did she witness the crime at age 12? And not just one, but all four?
Was Renju the killer? It had to be someone she knew.
The Cyclops killer appeared 6 years ago. I lost my memory 6 years ago. There has to be some kind of connection.
No. She did it
There
again.
isn't. It's a coincidence.
Really?
Really.
Okay. But that was still scary, seeing me kill them. I don't want to be a murderer. I'm a nice guy. About the original and new instance.
I don't believe there's any meaningful connection between the
copycat
original and new Cyclops.
Why is that?
The culprit is not the same. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
Wait, which path are we on? This one. We've gone up, apparently. Interesting. Very interesting.
How can you be so sure?
Because I can. Don't worry about it. Just trust me.
Well, now I don't trust you, and especially after that last game. But you know what? I'll trust you for now. The red figure from the
In
sink.
the Somnium earlier, I saw someone else who might be the... Who was he?
I wouldn't know.
About the original Cyclops killer.
Remember what the boss said this morning. The original Cyclops killer has yet to be brought to justice. After the investigation got going, it was taken over by the government and classified. That was the last we
Interesting.
heard anything about it. Of course, they paid lip service to the idea that the investigation was ongoing, but in reality, it was dropped completely.
That's not fun. That's not cool at all. Why did the original Cyclops killer appear in Iris' Somnium?
The
Tell me,
seeker
Peter.
does not always experience the somnium they expect. Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones. When using the sync machine for an investigation, we don't always see the memories we expect to see. True, oftentimes a subject will subconsciously want to express their dark secrets and repressed memories. That is why we see
Interesting.
them so often in Somnia, and why those Somnia are so useful for criminal investigations. But this is not a guarantee. We cannot control the content of our dreams, after all.
Why did they appear, though?
It's like I told you before. Dreams are pieced together from memories.
Yes.
This can be expressed
know, you
as
said
an
that.
equation.
As you said that you set up before.
Dream D equals memory A plus memory B plus memory C.
Why wouldn't Dream D be called just Dream A? A dream and a memory are two
This,
different
of course,
things.
means that Dream D is a fictional event. However,
But I get it for
the
the story.
same cannot necessarily be said about memory A, B, and C. Those happened in reality. In other words, fiction is built from combinations of reality.
So what I saw in Somnium earlier...
Yes, I believe Iris actually witnessed those events.
Especially the last one, because it was so vivid. Are all memories real?
Pewter, you said that memories happen in reality, right? But what about false memories? How do we know if the memory really happened?
Yeah, because we have some
Even
experience with
false
those
memories are built from the pieces of real ones. If you disassemble those pieces, you will find real events.
What about things you see in movies or television?
The events might be fictional, but the experience is not. Our imaginations are limited to what we have seen. We cannot invent something whole cloth.
too. Interesting way to put it. I didn't learn anything from speaking with Boss and Pewter. If anything, the mystery only grew deeper. Pewter shook me from my
Dante.
thoughts.
It looks like Iris is about to wake up.
Got it.
Well, I guess it's time to question her some more.
Hey, Iris. About that dream earlier.
Dream?
There is no point in asking. The subject of a sink does not experience somnium in the way that you do. They will
Interesting.
not remember it.
Then what about the Cyclops killer?
Cyclops killer? I remember hearing it on the news, but I was just a little girl. I don't remember anything specific.
You don't?
No,
What about the scene of the murder?
I don't know. I've never been there.
But
Interesting.
Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious
So
ones.
she's repressed it. And naturally
You
so.
can't dream of
I'm
something you know
assuming she was
nothing
probably
about.
hiding in the lockers.
Date, could you take Iris home?
huh?
We do not have enough evidence to hold her. Even in Somnium, we couldn't find anything. The law demands that we...
You cannot decline.
So my assumption is that she witnessed them happen, and she was hiding in the locker. Because we opened the locker, and then a knife flew out, and that's the start of that whole event. So that's the only thing I can think of, because why
Date,
else would
Could we make a
that
stop
happen?
first?
Sure. Where?
McDonald's?
Marble. It's a bar in Golden Yokocho.
You know about that place?
Yeah, Mr. Okiura took me before.
Why do you want to go there?
There's something I want to talk about.
We can't talk
Okay.
here.
It might take a while.
We
What
can
do
still
you think?
start the conversation.
There's no reason to refuse. Besides, there's a lot I want to ask her, too. Alright, sure.
Iris nodded and pulled out her phone. Is she sending a Nile message to someone? I was curious, but I didn't want to pry. I turned the wheel and drove to Marble. Why would you turn the wheel? We're on a straight road. I feel like that one line was written without the context of the driving on the straight highway. Has Date gotten any sleep yet? To my surprise, I saw Oda sitting at the counter.
Oh, Ota!
Isn't your phone broken?
No, this is my new one. You're thinking of the one I dropped in that puddle.
I never thought I'd run into you here.
I was nihiling with Tessa earlier. She said she was going to Marble, so... I got here just before you did. Look, I was really worried about her. She was about to be charged with a serious crime.
Where's Mama?
Oh, she left a little while ago. She said something about going to help an acquaintance. She told me to watch the place until she got back.
How well do you know Mama?
Not at all. It's my first time here.
Interesting. I wasn't particularly surprised. Mama's always depended on the kindness of strangers, ever since she opened Marble. What was that thing
This
about?
actually works out nicely. I want to ask you something, Ota. It's about a Nile message you sent Iris. You said you wouldn't tell anyone about that thing. That you'd stay quiet no matter what. What were you talking about?
Well,
I'll tell her about the two-witter thing. I swear I'll do it.
geez, fine. Just don't tell anyone else, okay? But
She's standing there like,
before I
what?
tell
What
you,
about two Witter?
who's that?
What?
At the door.
What? Oda, you just attacked a federal agent. And shorted out my eyeball. You know how expensive those things are? Day 4, Monday. Jukai. Well, I guess we finally got some sleep. Against our will. When I woke up, I was lying on the sofa. Where am I? Where am I? My head was killing me and my memory was foggy. I felt a sudden pain in my neck. I shot up, rubbing my neck. When I looked over the counter, I saw a monster staring back at me. It took me a few seconds before I realized it was just Mama.
Looks like you're awake now.
As Mama spoke to me, it all came rushing back. I remembered everything. Where's Ota?
Ota? The boy.
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy. but yeah.
He was already gone when I came back. All I saw was you getting your beauty.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
My power was shut down due to the stun gun. I have rebooted in safe mode and am now operational.
Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
So you weren't drunk?
No, I was
Not a
tased.
single drop.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle. Just like the old days.
What time is it?
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
It's been about 5-6 hours. Oop, getting a call.
Date, the boss is calling.
Oh, how am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency. Just now,
What?
the killer... Well, just watch the video. I sent the address to Iba.
Uh-oh. It's not looking good for Oda.
Iris.
Did Oda go all crazy stalker? Uh-oh. That's really not good.
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Iva, the source.
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse.
What? The
Okiura?
Okiura Fishery Storehouse?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site.
We need to get to the site now! I thanked Mama and ran out of marble. Darn it! Without that marble, I can't do anything, and I'm out of it! Sorry. I know it's serious, but I cope with serious stuff with joking.
What's our ETA?
Our destination is far from here.
Ah,
20 minutes at the fastest.
Please, please let me make it in time.
her eye's already out. No, she's breathing.
That sick bastard.
Oh, the polar bear. I remember this from ads or something. No! Darn you, polar bear. Why are they just like a polar bear?
Tessa! Hold
Oh.
on, I'll save you!
Ota.
I don't trust this at all. That doesn't excuse you, Oda.
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
But then again, that was faster than he could get out of the bear suit. So there's two possibilities. Oda just happened to be there while Iris was like that. But he had to have known where she would end up. Or he was in the polar bear suit and took it off. There's 6 hours, like maximum, that we missed. My heartbeat was pounding in my ears, shaking me to the core. How much time had passed? The feeling of time itself had disappeared. Eventually, the car reached a long bridge. Shortly after, the image changed. Polar bear again.
No, it can't be. No. Stop!
I don't think Oda's gonna stop it this time, Date. Are they gonna cut away, or do I have to censor this?
No!
I don't know what I should do about that. I'm gonna censor it just to be safe, and then leave it like this. I'll censor a couple seconds of it. Jesus.
No!
What happened to Oda? That's the third time she's died, right? How did they take down that live stream? Those are usually against terms of service. Yeah, I think that clip was a little too graphic, so I'm gonna censor it. Oh, now it's the polar bear? What? How the heck? Who's in the polar bear suit? It was Oda. How the heck did that happen? What the heck is going on? Are they both dead, or is it just Oda?
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you.
I'm so confused. We watched Iris get cut in half, got there and found Oda in a polar bear suit cut in
Rare
half.
to see you down like this, but it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you? Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about letting Oda get the upper hand on you. Am I right?
I don't have a button for censor, so I'm just gonna go there.
Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks? Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide.
It would seem that way. That's the only way that would make sense.
Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So
Probably.
Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife. Killed her, then
Yeah,
killed
so they are
himself.
both dead. And I think if what she's saying is correct, then I guess my guesses were correct. Because he did run off screen. The polar... Wow, I can't speak. The polar bear pressed it, then left. And then Oda came in and stopped it. And then went to fight the polar bear that was off screen. And then the polar bear came back. And then we got there and chopped her in half. And then by the time we got there, Oda was in the polar bear suit in half.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris.
That's what I was
And
thinking
how do you
earlier.
explain the other two murders? Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko. Those
Guess
three
we don't
murders
really
were
have-
definitely executed by the same person. The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions. Like killing Iris.
Then again,
Such
he's
as?
probably the same weight. Am I trying to convince her? His behavior during the video. It could have been an act.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was gonna commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
That could have happened.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice cutting machine himself? I don't buy it.
Oda had no incentive to kill Renju.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The
He could've been
reason
jealous.
Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it. Making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
Oda had no incentive to kill Shoko.
Shoko was married to Renju. Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing.
That's a stretch. They've been divorced for years. Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko.
Plus,
to
he
get to
even said
Renju.
that he didn't know that they were married. Then again, he could have been lying, but he was a bad liar.
The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
There are some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
Interesting.
I am.
Oh, I know that.
Well,
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work,
then shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come
Out the
on.
window. Saying he stabbed himself in the side. Thought, dang it, I'm not dead. Chucked the knife as hard as he could out
Ota
the
goes
door.
out to the water, stabs himself in the
Which
gut,
was
throws
presumably
the knife over the
closed.
side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Well, I wasn't being serious. I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
Devil's Advocate's always fun to play.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Yeah, because the polar bear
knew
was off
Iris was
screen
kidnapped,
too
so
short
he
for him to
rushed
get out
onto
of
the
the
scene.
outfit.
That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy.
Unless someone in HQ did it.
The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice cutting machine, and then...
Into the polar bear suit, put him on there, and cut him.
Then, who is the culprit?
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims.
No, 89's not out yet.
But Ota
this
was a
one.
special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris. What connects these 3?
Connection.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe, maybe not. But it's a good starting point.
Renju and Shoko's daughter, Mizuki.
Mizuki has the strongest connection. Shoko and Renju were her parents. She was good friends with Ota, but that's why I could never believe Mizuki would keep thinking of her as a suspect is
Iris's mother, Hitomi, doesn't have any alibis.
Hitomi and Renju they were high school classmates, and she did say that she met Shoko twice, but I can't imagine she would kill Iris, no matter what the circumstances were.
Ota's mother, Mayumi. This is gonna be another.
Mayumi
can't
had
see her doing
motive for
that.
killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemnis Gate either.
But she
Since
wouldn't kill
Renju's
Ota.
the president. Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
Yeah. Moma Kumakura.
Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris.
So none that we know of right now. Congressman So Sajima. That's
Renju, Shoko, and
last
So.
option.
There is a connection between Renju and Shoko, but again, I can't...
me.
I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No. Now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that I have been working
Yay,
with you
I'm not
for
the killer.
years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
So is
I
more
thought it
likely
over,
than you
boss.
think, Date.
Of the people I know, I can't peg...
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit, to get justice for the victims.
Investigation time
right.
until we can prove
Got it,
So
boss.
did it. Or his bodyguards. Marble, Sagan, Date, Matsushita. Let's go back to the warehouse first. I stepped into the cold storage warehouse. The air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hasn't raised much at all. The cold air sunk into my skin, but the center of my body was burning hot. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
The inspector is doing his duties as usual. Policeman, any progress on the investigation?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Workbench.
Right here. Iris and Ota were...
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived.
About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Right,
Saw.
about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in...
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Yeah, that's true. Workbench. Maybe Ota was trying to help Iris, jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle, and Ota ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside the costume, then finally cut open by the ice-cutting
But
machine.
Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown. A video
Equipment.
camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream. All
Polar
of these
bear.
items
Why
have been
polar
bought
bear,
from
though?
Pawn shops and thrift
Bears are
stores.
too cool for that.
It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co. Ltd. is. However,
duh.
I found the password written directly on the router.
Iris and Ota's blood.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The
Interesting.
company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But
Interesting.
it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious. This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
There's so much here that has like double like meanings. Iris and Ota were sliced in two by this ice machine. Iris and
Iris's
Ota.
estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko,
Jesus, this game is dark at
Date,
times.
we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
I don't see Horatio here. Or Mac. I liked Mac. He was cool. Mac was the one from New York, right? I believe so. If that's not his name, then it's the one from New York that I think is cool. And the boom guy. He was cool too. When I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What is he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date.
Yay, solving cases.
I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice.
He's flexing his jaw at me.
So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
Fred.
All right.
Fred.
Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Uh-huh.
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
I like it. That's kind of a pointless
Let
flashback,
me explain
but
why.
I like it anyway. It's a direct. He said, earlier I told you this. Flashback saying, this.
I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer. Although, it's more accurate to say killers.
More than one?
In
Yeah,
the
there was
first
two. We
series
saw
of
the red
killings,
and the blue.
The culprit had an accomplice. One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
What? Did my fake gasp give it away that I wasn't surprised? I mean, I wasn't, you know. The reason I'm not surprised is because, like, the dude went crazy 6 years ago. That's kind of suspicious. It's
They
not because I
each
knew
had a
anything. I
role
still
to
don't know
play.
anything. This is still a blind playthrough.
The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
Interesting. Why did the Cyclops case get
That-
classified?
I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official
Well,
investigation
one thing we do
material
know is that
contains
she
nothing of
is
value.
important. Because these three were on pieces of paper. She was an actual victim.
I am unable
the
to draw
Somnium.
any conclusions from them.
And plus,
You really have
she has
no
pink
idea?
hair.
If I did, I would tell you.
Anime has taught me anything. Colored hair is
18
suspicious.
years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger
Weird.
into her eye socket and gouged it out. The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's
Floating
eyes.
eyeball in the dark.
Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them. He needed to have them, to make them his own. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular
weird.
about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years.
So
However,
he was the Cyclops killer.
he soon met his
Oh,
ideal
one of them.
partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This
And the other
was
guy
origin
chose
the
the name of
Cyclops
Cyclops.
serial killings.
I'm gonna take a drink because my voice is getting scratchy.
About the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Interesting.
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to
89?
damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Serving a life sentence at Fuku prison for murder. Known only as 89. We know nothing else about him. But he does seem like a psychopath. And he's the only one we've met like that so far. So it was probably 89 and Rohan. Also, we're in the flowchart already. We're right here. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm addicted to flowcharts.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust. It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress.
Oh,
it is normally
cool.
secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a
Ooh.
way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due
Murder?
to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
Murder.
What was it?
Murder.
Yep.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain.
Yeah, that's why achievements are such a big deal. Because whenever you hear a sound effect like this or this, it gives you a feeling of satisfaction. It gives you
The
just
pleasant feeling
something.
attained through accomplishment is dopamine.
makes you want to do more of it.
Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got
It's
pleasure
not
from
just sound
killing
effects
people?
either. It's from everything.
It's slightly more complicated than that.
Certain people are more receptive to it.
Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Summarize for me. Was it 89? Or my guess
The
is right?
original Cyclops killer had an accomplice,
There were two Cyclops killers.
and one of them was the former chairman of
bi-Cyclops
Kumakuras,
killer.
Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means... Pewter, Tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains. Who is he?
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police.
89.
They actually picked him up on other
89.
charges. But in
Interesting.
any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called Number 89.
Knew it.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
Peter looked grimly serious. Interesting. Let's go to... I want to see Mizuki. She's gonna be mad at me though. Because I ditched her. She never got to talk to Oda. Oh, she never got to talk to Oda. Oh, God.